Okay, so we're live now.
Okay.
All right. So we could just wait for a few people to log in
Okay.
to get us in. But I am so look forward to hearing your story, the first chapter of your story. We already have one in. So while everyone is coming in, first, could you just introduce yourself to everyone? Could you hear
Yeah.
me? Yes, because you introduce, they can see you. They can see us right now. So if you could just introduce yourself.
Odetta Fraser. Hi, everybody. That's my name. I am an author.
And you from, you can let them know you from. And you want me to say,
Okay. Okay.
you want me to let them know from
For
guy,
some
from
reason,
guy?
I'm not.
No, go ahead. What's going on?
Okay. I'm sorry. The screen is a little bit timing. It's a little bit late.
Oh, okay. So it's like a delay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so everybody,
I apologize.
if you hear delay, don't think that we sitting here looking like caught in the headlight. Is a delay. So when I'm talking, she's probably getting it a couple seconds later than when I'm saying it. Don't know what's going on with the streaming, but you can go ahead. We have the amazing. You can just introduce yourself one more time.
Okay. Odetta Fraser. I'm Odetta A. Fraser. I'm a writer and author from Brooklyn, New York. And I've written and published three books. Two are in publication. One is published right now, and that's the one that we're gonna review.
Oh, awesome! You can jump right in and just start your book. There's a delay, so you could jump right in and start.
Okay, so just so I can introduce everyone to Ode to America. Ode to America is it's a song. I'll read the back just so you can have an idea of what you're getting yourselves into. Ode to America is a song both difficult and sweet, as it touches upon America's bittersweet soul, as it struggles to impress itself upon a girl so unfamiliar with its cold and aloof persona. It is written in poetic form, daring its readers to catch up as it takes flight into issues both far and near to every person's aching heart in a country so treasured and bold.
Mm.
It covers topics such as racism, prejudice, capitalism, relationships, and more as it traverses the steep landscape of America's need for a cultural revolution.
All right. So, all right, already I know we're in for a treat. I love that it covers poetry. So, I look forward to that. I think I told you one of my friends is looking forward to that too. So I'm ready.
Yeah, thank you. So let's just start. So, chapter one, it says, Dear White America, Dear White America, I am angry with you, not you, precious ones, born from the heart, wounded at every touch of unrighteousness and selfish darts. Not you, tender ones, hard at work, earning and churning, hands to the dark dirt, bright beacons of light. You work, hands to the axe, you wax stronger and stronger as you fight the good fight. Morning, noon, night, nor even you, sweethearts, plunge from the top, dangers of love, peace, and light. You drop, ready to keep the peace of the top. Atop of the night, you fight. You face the fight with your lamps trimmed and ready, burning pure and bright. It is because of you I shine, precious lights, beaming at mine own, daring me to break the trend of night and don mine own perfect, pleasant uniform of peace in perfect form. You lift me up into daylight. No, you do your thing, beauty light, stars of the dark days and long, long nights. Please, do continue to fight for peace and right. Do set the world aright with your bright emblems of kings and knights and generals with prime pikes. You fly your kites of colors so bright, a flavorful sight for me, guiding me into symmetry. We shan't do it without your fight. Together we must set the world aright. We can do it right. Oh, but it is to you, jolly ones, I with this message fight. We despise your blight, selfish paragons of right, supreme beings willing to sneer at my sight with ease, easy disdain oozing from your eyes, noses, stiff chin bones, and arch poses, beacons of dislike, calling to the children from the midst of the night, far, far away, yet still keeping them at bay, deep in the fight with your distaste for truth and light, peace and right. Your rules, oh, how they trouble me sore. You twist them, tweak them, and fancy yourselves doers of more. We make them better, you say, as you nudge the door a little further and even more. Elaborate words you cling to, and oh, how they have such an intellectual ring to them. Clink, clink, cages they become as you hustle me in. Another thing for me to do or undo, depending on whom I talk to. Sinkholes they become, and you, my friend, have earned yourselves another batch of ready, trembling cells from which to draw from. With caution, you siphon their souls into your food bowls, urns, vats, and drums. A melange that makes you fat cats with bums, dwelling up top in misery. Your stomach's full, but your mind's queasy. You grin and flap like penguins, shuffling to and fro, your finger bustling, your appetite growing more and more and more. You keep the masses hustling. You've got them doing one step and two. They've created four steps and new steps. They do flips, back flips, and divorces, all to get through to you. Reward them. But you just smile and keep forcing us, remarking how easy it is to make us wild, all the while still avoiding us. You know you destroy us. Men, women, and children alike, ka-ching. Again, you're cashing in. Cash kings, you drink. No longer buoyant, the parties are afloat, carried in the current, bogged down, walk together in bunches, and mystified. You're on your horses, and out come your hoses as you pinch your noses, insert a sigh. They now become your goodwill stories and a guide to your swollen paunches. And again, you switch corners again and again. Is anybody onto this? This is the chorus of the enemies of the uterus. It plays nonstop. Are you listening, you white cocks and condoners of fake democracy? White man knows best and such slop. It is for you I flown the warm confines of a celestial cell to come down and personally deliver this knell. You are undone. You will rot in hell should you not stop. So stop these lies that posit that you are sole guardians of the skies, of knowledge, understanding, and what lies the understanding when it is carried under brown skin. Putting up your barriers steadily to flee the inevitable. You belong to me. I belong to you. We are one. Yes, brothers, you see? We have the same mother, you and me. Yes, you have offended me, and we still continue in conflict, though we pretend to be much more cordial. And it truly is time that we come off of it. Follow me. Come. Let's pretend to be me, Esau, and Jacob, you are he. My story I will tell. I am not perfect. I'll be the first to tell in any circuit. And oh, how I wish you two would follow. It surely would quell a whole heap of sorrow. I have offended the law, and you are the beneficiary. This is a story much bigger than you or me. An era of kings and venerable beings come down for us to be a divine struggle. You see, we each play a part. Our deeds determine our prophecy, and there's their legacy. The story goes that Esau, made a costly mistake. He gave up that which was rightly his just to fill his belly ache. For a fleeting thing, hunger, he gave up his right to be king. Bummer. Little did he know that such an idle exchange of wit with his brother would lead to his eventual heartache, not to mention the betrayal of his own mother. And thus you are now the first to partake in this great and wonderful cake that we must make and then bake until to and take to fill our every ache. I am not sore about this. This is a story that ends with a kiss. Indeed, it is beyond the story of men, and of healing through recompense. Kissed with kindness and mixed with a heavy dose of blindness, simple forgiveness was bestowed, which brings us to this healing, I say,
Wow.
granted by the extended arm of giving and receiving. The way Forgiveness, I say, a natural balm for the stricken, one of the world's most ancient of medicines, and one of Earth's deepest natural resources. There is no cause for this here antidote. As to why you abuse its uses, you selfish bloke. My brother, do you not hear the meaning of this legacy, so dear to you and me? Me, the foolish firstborn, you, the crafty beneficiary, you, the trickster, me, the careless keeper, you, the receiver of my glorious coat. Yet we can be one if we continue to peer and arrive at the notion that we can be very near. But first, here is the seer. You must now humble me. Yes, you must now bow to me. You must allow me the satisfaction to see you, the careful giver, me, the tender beneficiary. You have to largest me with, say, boxes, boats, coats, flowers, oxen or totes, tickets, love notes, soap and or chicken. Maybe something thicken, maybe something to thicken the slippery ropes that you throw to coax me overboard. Whatever you please, just offer it, and you will see your brother curiously wonder at the meaning of all these as I bid you kiss, my brother. Where have you been? Let us be one. Come, there really is no need for these. We are brothers. Remember, the past no more. Let us dwell peacefully. There is so much more for us to do and to see. I am here. You are free to dwell anywhere. Look around. We can do it. See, remember, it is all up to you and to me. And this I will repeat as often as we need, for indeed we must dwell together peacefully. We are of one seed. So come, bow down to me. Let us dwell peacefully. A kiss, here is one. Do not let greed overtake thee. There is yet enough for everyone. A pen, move over. Do you have one? Lend it to me and put away your guns. Forget me not when you draw up your laws and legislations. I mean, do stop writing us into the bottom of that nation with your bills that you know mean my definite dissociation. Make rich thyself in relieving the unfortunate's heavy burden. Foolish thou, dost thou not see? Art thou not aware that a kingdom divided can never be? Is this not why America crumbles and we, her incredulous witnesses, be? Grappling and stumbling, unable to save ourselves, much less anybody else. Forget the rich, the poor, the terrorists, or some other body, the pop culture whores, and the ones with the killer bodies. I know scapegoats are necessary, but move past that distraction. Here is what we lack: unity. We move to and fro from left to right without ever getting it right. The dawn breaks and then the night, and here we continue our do-si-do, constantly skipping over the simple wisdom of the right, that as unto you, so it is unto me. Thus this rumbling shall never cease until equality her rest takes at ease. Common sense I know is not found commonly, yet I will ask, why equality? Does anybody have an answer for me? Well, hear the story of the little side table. Will you mend its legs, only three, leaving one broken and still expect it to stand perfectly? Won't it make others fall, those around, those atop, all, and eventually become of no use at all unless you prop it up against the wall or something else just to make it stand sure and tall? And before long, you do not just cast it out just because of the fall. So, thus clearly will your country fall if you continue to rightly feed just some of your children and not all. Is this as clear as a crystal ball? All right then, for now, this is all. Sincerely and angry.
Mm. Okay, I hope it's not echoing. Do you have a speaker on? I know that you didn't. We all have a delay. You have a speaker on? Because I know it's delayed. Because I want to say so much to you, but I don't want it to be.
I have you on my computer. So I have you on my computer.
But I know you're going to get this probably delayed. So I just want to tell you, though, thank you for writing such a dynamic book already. I love how you spoke the experiences, the American experiences of a lot of our people is such a poetic way and made it so interesting. And you can almost feel it. Like I felt like you were speaking directly from your heart, and I love every minute of it. Thank you for that. I don't even think that someone have ever came on here and read a story like the chapter, like their chapters is done in a poetic way. Not saying it hasn't been
Thank
done.
you.
This is just
Thank you.
yes. Thank you. I'm not saying it haven't been done, but this is my first time having. Actually, it is my first time hearing one, and I think it's so beautiful, And I never thought of that. I love poetry, and of course, I love to write. But who would ever think to like write a story in a poetic way? It's beautiful. It's very beautiful, and I
Thank
love the
you.
way. Yeah, I love the way how you were able to tell our story. So far, like our story. You know what I'm saying? Um, I know you're from New York. Well, you're from Ghana. You currently living in New York, right? So let me
Yes.
ask you, what
Right.
genre would you say that you fall under?
Yes. Yes. From Guyana, not Ghana.
Guyana. I'm sorry, and yeah, I don't know Guyana, and you but you live in New
You
York
know,
now. But
it's interesting because I don't think I fall under anyone. My first book is poetry. My second one is a children's poetry, and my final book is fantasy romance.
okay, so would you say do you even decipher it, or do you separate the two of being an author from a writer, or do you just say you're both? It's
I don't separate the two. I see them as the same.
yes. Okay. So, do you have any influences or any people who influenced you? Any other authors or poets?
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that question?
Have any other author or poets influenced you, or what influenced you to be a
Oh,
writer?
certainly. I have to say my very first introduction was to poetry was in high school, and it
Okay.
was E. E. Cummings. And I just loved how his poetry was, I'm going to use a big word, it's called, I think, esoteric, that he just hides certain things, simple things, into all this little words coming together. And that was just fascinating to me. I also
Yeah.
love Toni Morrison, of course. I think she's definitely had a great influence on my writing career because I read practically all of her books, if not all of them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, how long have you been writing? I know you say you've been writing poetry since, but how long?
Well, I would say I started um, writing for fun, let's say 2015, 2014, 2015.
Wow. Okay. And so
Yeah.
wait, so you started writing and you saw that awesome, amazing. Um, I
Thanks.
always I always ask everybody that comes on here because I'm so into my writing area. Do you have a writing area? And if so, what is something a must that you have in your writing area when you go to write your poems or even your
I'm
romance?
so sorry. I missed that question. And the delay
Do you have
is, I need to figure out how to turn this thing off.
do you have a writing area, like a room or a particular place that you write? And if so, yeah, like
Oh,
what
I
do you
write
need in
all
that
the
area?
time and I write as much as I can. So I have certain places in my home where I write. Like sometimes I want to sit in my chair and write on my computer, so that's where I'll sit. And other
Okay.
times I don't want to do that, so I have like a little laptop to sort of make up for those times when I don't feel like sitting in a big old chair.
Yeah. When you're getting in your mood to write your poems, do you need anything like candles you know, or you
Oh,
just write?
nothing like that sets me up. It really just flows. Like it really flows out like water, which I'm very grateful for. Like I'll sit for a while with ideas,
Okay.
and then the ideas will sort of just spill over eventually into something that I want to say.
Oh, okay. So are you published under a publishing company or you self-published?
I am self-published. Originally, the
Yeah.
first edition of this book was under a publisher, but I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, you see more and more people going to self-publishing for that very reasons.
Yes.
Um, do outside of writing, what is your career? Or is
Well,
writing?
I have a master's degree in forensic psychology. So I've studied psychology and I want to go further to be a psychologist. So I'll probably have to go back to school to get my doctorate. And
Yeah.
I also do graphic design. It's one of my
What?
hobbies.
So I'm gonna just go ahead and say that you designed your the cover of your book then.
Yes, I did.
Girl, that saves some coins. That is
I
good. Like
agree.
that is good. Do you have a particular editor? Do you edit or you do your own edits?
Well, no, I don't. I don't have one for this book. I worked really hard with this first book, so I think I was pretty good with that. But for my second book, I do have an editor for the second book.
Okay. How is it important to have an editor, do you think? For someone, because I had people that asked, do I need an editor? I was told I don't. I always say you should have one. How is it important? Is it for an
Yeah, I
author to have?
definitely think it makes sense to get an editor because it really adds another perspective, and you have to be willing to do that if you want to put out a product that you're very proud of.
Exactly.
I think I went cross-eyed trying to edit my book myself. I mean, as a writer, you write and rewrite about at least 6 times, and then
Yeah.
editing is a part of that. And then after that, I like to have someone else look at it just to make sure there's nothing that I miss because it's a lot of words and sometimes it starts swimming if you're not careful.
Very,
So you need some assistance.
very. What are your goals? I know you started in 2015. So what are your goals with writing?
I have so many. The first is to reach people. Ultimately, I want to use my skills, which are to help people and to connect with people in a way that they feel and
Yeah.
offer advice because I think I have a knack for simplifying things. I've worked really hard at that as being a psychologist because oftentimes I find myself as a translator between the field and the general
Yeah.
public.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really want to expand as much as I can to really educate people because I really think education is it. And people often want to hear information, but I really want to promote reading and literacy as necessary tools for people to improve their lives.
Yes, I agree 100. Let me take that back. I agree 1000%. Especially education is the way to go. I mean, you just can't take that value off of it. I don't care what anyone says. There's a
Right.
difference. Walk through the door with a high school diploma than when you walk through the door with a master's degree, with a doctorate's degree. And that's not putting no downplaying anyone's accomplishment, but just knowing the value that education has. It gives you more legway to go through the door and make demands and
Right.
negotiations. So I agree 100%. In closing, could you two things in closing? What tip would you give an inspiring author or someone that's inspired to be a poet? What tip would you give them?
Well, you have to love your craft. So make sure that it's something that you are really drawn to in a way that you cannot get let go of.
Yeah.
And it's something that you follow. I really
Yeah.
consider it a symbiotic relationship where I get life through writing and I know I give life through writing. So it's make sure that you're able to connect with your people in that way. It'll be a very different experience for your reader.
I agree. I love that. Thanks. Great tip. Thank you. Now, if you could just tell everyone how they can connect with you, I do have your information for your Instagram and your website, but you can just, just close out by telling everyone how they can connect with you. That delay is horrible.
So first of all, thank you. First of all, thank you all for being there and for having me share this moment with you. It was truly special.
Oh, we thank you. We thank you.
And you can keep up with me at www.dbosap.com. That's where you can follow me via my social handles. I'm always on Facebook as well. I like to join different groups for writers and authors.
Yes.
And send me a friend request right now on Facebook.
Yes.
If you're interested.
So you guys,
thank you so much, Keisha. It's been a blast.
No problem. Thank you. And you guys, all her information, if you on my page, you see her name tag to all the flyers, please send her a friend request. On Instagram, it's at ODETTA Send her request. Connect with her on her website. As she said, you'll find all her social media handlings. And you'll also be able to purchase books and see what she's up to. That's www.dbosap.com. Thank you guys. Please tune in next Thursday, this time right here, 8:00 p.m. It was a pleasure having you. Sorry for the delay, but we still was able to hear your book and all the information, and it was good. Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you too. Take good care of yourself.
You do the same. Bye-bye.